Swiftonomics refers to the economic influence of Taylor Swift and her impact on various sectors. Swift's performances as part of her Eras tour have had a positive effect on local economies. The power of Swiftonomics lies in Taylor Swift's unique influence and business choices. Swiftonomics also has implications on the global economy and relates to international trade and globalization. Taylor Swift became the first artist in history to reach the top 14 slots on the Billboard Hot 100 with her album The Tortured Poets Department, which also established a record for Spotify streaming. It was second only to Adele's 3.4 million 9 years prior in the US after selling 2.6 million copies in its first week. Swift's Eras tour made her a billionaire in October, and she's now just as likely to appear in the business pages as the music ones. With 2.4 million tickets sold in a single day, the tour became the first billion-dollar tour in history. According to Forbes, she was making between $10 and $13 million, £8 and £10 million every night. At $260 million, the tour film has achieved the greatest gross of all time. Local businesses have flourished as a result of the Eras tour, with fans spending an average of $1,325 on travel, lodging, food, and beverages. The UK leg is expected to generate £1 billion in economic growth, and Singapore outbid other countries to become the only country in Southeast Asia to receive the Swift blessing. The tour's media attention has given rise to a new term, Swiftonomics, and courses at universities focused on the subject. Swift is among the most financially astute pop performers in history, having used her influence to strike previously unheard-of agreements with record companies, platforms, and tour organizers. Swift is the daughter of a financial consultant, so there's no denying that even with an A-list team that includes well-known lawyer Don Passman, she makes the big calls herself. It is less obvious what her disproportionate success, whether it be from inventing the weather or riding current trends, means for the music business as a whole. Despite being a huge hit and earning $345.7 million, Taylor Swift's 2018 Reputation tour did not signal the end of her imperial period. Two disasters befell Swift, a personal and a global one. After Scooter Braun purchased her previous record company, Big Machine Records, in 2019, she went to fight with it. When Swift joined with the label at the age of 15, she gave the label master rights to her first 6 studio albums. After Braun turned down her request for a deal, Taylor opted to re-record the albums under the name Taylor's Versions. This approach made older artists aware that they have a new product to market by taking advantage of a gap in her Nashville contract. While the Eras tour proved the economic impact of music, luring Taylor Swift to a city is hardly a calculated move. As though they were brand new releases, all 4 of Taylor's versions have reached the top of the US Billboard 200 and have now become the standard versions. While still young and active, Swift effectively transformed herself into a legacy artist, taking a stand against Braun and the big, evil industry on behalf of artists' rights. The pandemic was the second significant setback that Swift managed to use to her advantage. She was getting ready for her 2019 album Lover Tour, which included a headline performance at Glastonbury. Prior to COVID-19, she released 4 new studio albums: Folklore, Evermore, Midnights, and The Tortured Poets Department, along with 4 Taylor's versions after being compelled to stop touring. The imposed 5-year live break and the deluge of new material created an insane demand for Eras tickets. Swift triumphed once more. In order to promote the whole archive, the Eras tour combined the rare recordings and the new albums into a career-spanning set that lasted an average of more than 3 hours. Most remarkably, Cruel Summer, a 2019 fan favorite of hers, wasn't even a single until its live appeal made it a worldwide chart topper. Swiftonomics and the international market. Swift's Eras tour has had a positive economic influence not just on the United States, but also on other countries. It was anticipated that Swift's visit to Tokyo would bring in $228 million for the Japanese economy, of which $162.7 million would go to the city where she was welcomed. Meanwhile, her trip to Mexico City was predicted to bring in over $59 million, And for the tour's 2024 UK leg, hotels in Edinburgh, Liverpool, and Cardiff sold out in August 2023. Taylor Swift's visit has an effect beyond the host city. For example, Air Additional Zealand stated it was adding more than 2,000 seats, including additional flights, to accommodate what it dubbed the Swift surge in demand when Swift revealed she was heading to Australia, even though there are no Eras tour performances scheduled for New Zealand. 20. Local businesses have benefited so much from hosting the Eras tour that Swift was urged to add Canadian dates via X, previously Twitter, a request made by Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. Taylor Swift's ubiquity may continue, but she has always profited from strong opponents and prevailed in conflicts with peers, the entertainment business, and past relationships. Bloomberg's research as of October 2023 places Taylor Swift's net worth at $1.1 billion. And she is the most influential musician of the era and the face of the phenomenon.